everybody, welcome to Week in Review. This is a video series where we talk about all the different videos we put out in the Dice Tower over the course of the week. We just got back from Spiel Essen, so it was a truncated week, but we still had videos to talk about and games to review. Here we go.
Hey everybody, I'm Z Garcia, and here's what I did last week. So I reviewed Calavera, which I gave a 6 out of 10 to. This is a roll and write in which you are rolling some dice. You can do it Yahtzee style, take up to 3 rolls, and then you select something you take. It's possible you bust, and it's also possible that the other players have to take a color as well. Early on in the game, you don't want to do that. You don't want to help them. But then later in the game, it's possible you do want to stick them with a color because they'll bust. They'll go over a sweet spot on their scoring card, on their little sheet of paper, and then if they go over that, the points sort of drop off dramatically, and then they might even get negative points. So a cute little game, very simple, very light, and I like it mostly for the style and how quick it is, and the fact that it has a little bit of, it has some teeth in it. It's a little mean, but it's nothing to write home about. I reviewed SpellBook, which I gave a 7.5 to. This is a neat game of set collecting and sort of, forging your own path, picking which spells you want to invest in early, how that's going to help you in the long run. It's fun. It's interesting. I like what's going on in it. It is one that I like the variety that it brings right out of the box, but it also is sort of comfortably middle of the road and certainly doesn't feel like anything I've never seen before. I'm worried it might be one of those games, and the theme unfortunately contributes to this, that is sort of lost in the shuffle. Having said that, I enjoyed it. I reviewed Dragonkeepers, which I gave an 8.5 to. This is a really neat card game. It's a game that's actually pretty small, even though the box is a little larger than you'd think the game in there would be. But I really like the central twist to it, this idea of pushing your luck, collecting sets, and the backs of the cards tell you what you must play if you're going to play at all. So I might have to play 3 blue dragons. If I have that, I have to play 3, exactly 3, not up to 3. The other players can follow even on your turn, so they could also play 3 blue dragons or whatever. And you are collecting tokens, completing these amulets. It's very simple, very straightforward. But I like the couple of small twists, and I like that this is such a comfortable game. It's innovative enough to give you something interesting to do, to make you think, but it also has that warm blanket thing I enjoy in many games. I think this is the kind of game that the family is going to gather around, and the younger ones might even be like, hey, I want to play the dragon game. I like that. I like the way that this one comes together. It's gorgeous, it's interesting, and it fits in a time frame just right. And then lastly, I reviewed Unmatched Adventures Tales to Amaze, and I gave this a perfect 10 out of 10. This is amazing. It is Unmatched. It gives you 4 new characters for Unmatched. It is also, however, a cooperative box that you can play against 2 different baddies. You have an alien side, Martians, and you have the Mothman side, as well as minions. So you can go against, the Mothman helped by the Skunk Ape and the Jersey Devil, and maybe the Blob and what have you. The theme is so pulpy. It's so fun. The fact that they took Unmatched and made it work cooperatively is insane to me. And the fact that you can retrofit everything that's come out before into this game and take the characters from this game and just play Unmatched with them, it blows my mind. It's amazing. I love the characters in here. I love the flavor. I love the difficulty in the game is tweaked just right. There's a nice amount of variety right out of the box. This is an amazing game. And if you like Unmatched, unless you abhor co-op games, absolutely despise them, I would recommend you get this because you're going to have a lot more to explore. So there you go, folks. That's it for me. I'll see you on the next one.
Week in review time. Roy Kennedy here, and this week I took a look at 2 games. I took a look at a bunch of different Summoner Wars stuff with Tom and Joey, and we took it four different factions, my favorite of which was the Crimson Order, which I gave a 9.5. You can check out the video for my other scores on the rest of those, but I still really love Summoner Wars. If you haven't tried out 2nd edition, I really enjoy the changes they made to it, and the Crimson Order was a really cool one to do, where you do damage to your own guys, the Summoner heals, there's Vargath that can kind of clump up and do a bunch of different stuff and kind of like have strength when they're together and do like ramming and things like that. You have the high elves that have like things that affect a ton of different of their units, but not only your units, but also affect your opponent's units. And then you have the swamp orcs, which do tons and tons of different boost tokens, which are super cool as well. And besides that, I took a look at Tales to Amaze, which I gave a 10. Which means I love the crap out of this game. I really, really enjoy Unmatched, and this makes Unmatched and lets you play it. It takes all of the stuff you have from Unmatched and lets you play it cooperatively. It also has some really cool characters inside the set. I love the fact that you're going up against cryptids, you're going up against the Mothman, and you're going up against aliens, which is super interesting and cool. And you have different sides of the board for that. Just lots of replayability in this, lots and lots of exciting stuff, and they made it super, super smooth and super, super streamlined. It's a 10 for me. I really love it. And then I also did a vlog where I went to a Dune Imperium Uprising event and actually got to hang out with the guys from Direwolf and MrBeast and his crew as well. So check out that vlog. It's basically my adventure flying to Raleigh, North Carolina to get a chance to play this game with these guys and meet really cool people and tons of interesting people that are really, really into Dune. So make sure to check out that vlog as well. But that's basically what I took a look at this week.
Hi, I'm Wendy Yee, and this week I have 2 reviews. The first one is Sweet Mess. I gave this a 6.5, and in Sweet Mess you're fulfilling recipes and you are kind of making permanent ingredients in your little magical warehouse. And I liked some of what was going on. I enjoy recipe fulfillment. I especially enjoy that as you make a recipe, there's kind of a cooldown track. And based on the reward you want to get, you could have a longer cooldown track or a shorter cooldown track. So I liked that going on. I did feel like it was kind of fiddly with the way that you make messes, and thematically, none of that made sense. So 6.5, it was almost there. It was very close. It was a very beautiful game. The next one is Rats of Wistar. I gave this a 7.5. This one I also liked a lot of what was going on. Now the main action selection is what I struggled with, and you have to move mice around to be able to get action points for your main actions as you set out your workers. And that felt very tactical to me, and it's a type of tactical that I don't enjoy as much in my Euro games. But it was okay. I feel like my brain hasn't understood it yet, so it wasn't an astounding score, but 7.5 is still very good because I enjoyed everything else that was going on in the game. Exploring the house, adding new guests to your main player board, uncovering areas, all this engine building stuff going on, just the way that the cards played and the usage of the cards. I liked a lot of that. So there you go. Rats of Wistar was a 7.5. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Wendy Yee. Let's see who's next.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey Evans, and here's what I reviewed this week. First off, I did Junk Drawer, which is a very fun polyomino style game, and organizing your junk drawer. I enjoyed it a lot, gave it an 8. Actually, this is a good week looking at it. Dragonkeepers, I reviewed. This is a very cute card style game, kind of has a push your luck mechanic. And it's really, really cute. The artwork is incredible. I gave this an 8.5, so check that out. Also, I took a look at the new Summoner Wars factions. And there were 4 factions. I think I ranked them 1 to 4. My favorite were the Elves. They're a bit more complicated to play, but I really like what they bring to the table. I gave overall these an 8.5. I'm not a huge fan of Summoner Wars, but I do like it. Now, as far as like battlers, we did get to do Unmatched Adventures, Tales to Amaze. And this review, first of all, I love this game. I love Unmatched. I love this system. This is my first ever 10. I gave this a perfect 10 because I love it that much. So those are the 4 games I reviewed this week.
I regret to inform you that it is now Chris time. Hey, this week I took a look at 4 games, the first of which was Sweet Mess, which I gave a 6. This is a game that, for me, is about as fun as Splendor, but has a few extra rules to it. I found it to be okay, fun. I'd play it again, but the way of collecting chips and turning them in, it just wasn't worth the effort, but still, all right, so a 6. Next up, SpellBook, a 7.5. Phil Walker Harding, one of my favorite designers. This is a game of his that I think is good. It does get exciting, but I feel like it takes a little bit to kind of build up to it. A mix of Rummy and kind of some of the stuff that he's done in Gizmos. I like mixing the spells more. If I just played the regular set 1 of spells, I didn't like it as much then. So mixing it up is the way to go. Next, the Rats of Wistar. I gave it an 8.5.
Simona Luciani and Danilo Savia, you can definitely see some of their mechanisms recycled a bit, but this theme and the way that adventuring around the house really felt like exploring was very fun to me, and it breathed some more life into a game that's otherwise yet another competent Euro. Now, this one feels a little bit more special than that, so an 8.5. And the last one, Unmatched Adventures, Tales to Amaze. A slightly long name, but an amazing game, a 9.5 for me. Seriously, this game it's stupendous. It is going to be pretty much my preferred way to play Unmatched. I can solo it, I can play it. I think 4-player is like the only player count I would like hesitate to play, but I still would. So a 9.5, an amazing box, whether you want competitive, cooperative, solo, it's there. I also did a few little things like a comparison review and stuff, so go check those out. But that has been my week.
I took a look at 2 different games this week. First up was SpellBook, which I came in at a 7.5 on. I enjoyed this game. I thought it had an interesting cadence to it that I wasn't a super fan of. I liked the second half of the game much more than the first, but overall trying to come up with your synergies. You have all your spells in the beginning, so you can kind of come up with a strategy and just hope those tokens and those runes work in your favor. So really enjoyed it, would recommend it, would definitely play it again, but the cadence was not really my style. So 7.5, want to get it to the table some more. I also took a look at Dragonkeepers. Man, did this game sing for me. I came in at a 9 for Dragonkeepers. I loved the simplicity of it. You know how to play right out of the gate. I mean, by your second turn, you're like, I got it. So the mechanisms are very simple and light, but there's some great decisions to be made. Do you take a dragon because of the color for that set you're trying to build, or do you take it for its mitigation purposes? Or are you taking it just to kind of push your luck and hopefully something comes out that you're really looking for? I loved the decision space of this. It's a short game. It definitely stops that one turn before you want it to be over, which is a perfect, just really engaging and energizing kind of game. You want to get it back to the table again. So Dragonkeepers for me, sang, mwah, it was wonderful, a 9.0. Let's keep going.
Hey there everybody, it's Mike DeLisio, and in this Return from Essen week I reviewed 2 games. First up is Sunrise Lane from Rainer Knizia. I gave this game a 7.5 out of 10. It's a re-implementation of an older abstract game called Rondo, and they've added a theme and some changes from that game to this, and every change that they made I feel was for the positive. So a lovely little production, not that big of a box, and plays very quickly. A very, very pleasant game, one that is very easy to teach and learn. So that's Sunrise Lane. And I also reviewed Newsboys from designer Sashi and publisher Sashi and Sashi. Newsboys is a roll and flip and write game where you are playing as newsboys in the late 1900s in Brooklyn, trying to expand your business territory and also fight for workers' rights and better working conditions. I feel like this game stands apart from a crowded genre. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. And I feel like the cross kind of competing priorities that you have to go for make for a compelling experience. All right, well, that's going to do it for me. This is Mike DeLisio. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, I did a giant unboxing of games from Essen. There was a lot of different games that came in, so you can see us do that. And also continue my normal series like Look Back and Board Game Smorgasbord and Crowd Surfing. We did a review of SpellBook. SpellBook is a game where you're pulling runes from a bag, and there's a lot of aspects about it I like. I thought it was good. I thought it was a little slow to get started, but other than that, I enjoyed it. I gave that one a 7. Summoner Wars Factions, I don't know what I give them all. Me and Joey and Roy looked at 4 different factions, including some of my favorite. The High Elves are just fantastic, so I'll just give it a 10 because I like all these factions. And then Rats of Wistar, I think I gave this one an 8.25 or something. I'll just say 8.5. A very enjoyable new game from Luciani with a very fun theme. And I did a Kickstarter look back where I took a look at all the different videos. And Sweet Mess, a game, lots of cool aspects going on in this one with candy and food. I really enjoy how simple and easy it is to play. I gave this one a 7.5. I also did a video with 7 speedy game reviews, just a whole bunch of stuff. From ranking, I think I gave something a 2 all the way up to a 7. So just kind of a cavalcade of different reviews there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this week, but that's a lot of stuff, and we'll be back next week. Thanks so much. When I say next week, I mean this week, because we're going to Board Game Breakfast and other things very, very soon. So anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell, and you've been watching Week in Review on the Dice Tower.